How's it going, everyone? It is me, Stateside here, and we're going to be taking a look at every Premier League club and their player of the year. So this video is going to come out probably closer to the week before Christmas. I'm going to be out of town at the time. I will still be checking comments, so if you have any feedback you'd like to give, please leave a comment down below. I will be sure to read each and every single one of those. Also, if you enjoy the video at all, please leave a like button and hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the first team, we're going to take a look at Arsenal. Of course, we're going to go in alphabetical order. Arsenal, Declan Rice. 3 goals, 1 assist. Obviously, he's a DM, so those numbers aren't that important. 91% pass completion, and most importantly, he leads Arsenal in interceptions, and that stat alone tells you exactly why Arsenal paid as much as they did. Obviously, 2 late goals in important games has been another reason for that. Then we'll go against Manchester United as well as the goal against Luton Town in the midweek. Probably close to a week ago now, I guess that would be. Both those goals crucial, as well as, his ability to just break up play for opposing teams. Declan Rice has been crucial to Arsenal's success this season. Aston Villa, another team that's been at the top of the table. We'll go ahead and get right into them. Ollie Watkins, he leads the team with 8 goals, 6 assists. I think you could make a shout for a few midfielders. I think you could make Douglas Luiz. I think you could put John McGinn. Maybe not McGinn, but you could also shout. Now that Tielemans is getting in the squad a lot more, he's looking very good for them. So you could definitely talk about their midfielders. But MVP so far, it has to be the man that leads the team in both goals and assists this season. That's why I'm going with Ollie Watkins. Up next, we've got Bournemouth. I'm going not Pedro Neto. Neto, the goalkeeper, Brazilian keeper for Bournemouth. He's got 4 clean sheets and 2.08 goals prevented in the league. That is 5th in the Premier League this season. He's been crucial to Bournemouth. I think they're in 14th right now. He's been imperative to their success. Just an absolute brick wall in front of goal for Bournemouth this season. Moving along quickly to Brentford as well. We're going to take a look at Mbeumo. 10 goal contributions. He's had a kind of a harsh injury here this season that's caused him. He's going to miss AFCON. I know that much. It's definitely going to hurt him this season as well. Brighton is the next team. We're going to take a look at Pascal Gross of Brighton. The German kind of does everything. I was going to say midfielder, but he plays midfield. He plays at right back. He probably played striker at some point, and I just haven't noticed it yet. 8 goals and assists, probably the most underrated player in the Premier League this season, just to give you an idea of how impressive he has been for Brighton. Probably the most underrated player in the Premier League for quite a while, because you always have these players you talk about in Brighton's team. You talk about the Alexis McAllister. You talk about the Caicedo. Pascal Gross was in that team, in that midfield as well. McAllister, Gross, Caicedo was the midfield for some of their games. Another player that's underrated for them is Solly March. He's obviously not their MVP for me this year, or player of the year so far this season, but it is obviously Pascal Gross for me. Next player is Burnley's James Trafford. He's, Burnley's been a bad team. He single-handedly got the point at Brighton. 10 saves. Maybe recency bias because he's made 10 saves in their last game, giving them a point against Brighton. It was a very good team, but who else am I going to pick if I don't pick James Trafford? I'm not going to pick anybody else in that team, let's be honest. I think the best player next was probably like Josh Brownhill, I think his name is. Josh, I think is his first name. Brownhill, I think is his last name, surname. But yeah, I've got to go James Trafford. He's easily the best player for them so far this season. He's a very young guy, 21 years old as well. Chelsea's the next team. I'm going to go with Conor Gallagher. 4 assists this season. He made me nervous against Chelsea as an Arsenal fan. I felt like he was going to do something crazy, score a goal, score a winner for them, something like that. I thought he was going to do something much more. I felt nervous watching him play against Arsenal. And in what has been a very uninspiring Chelsea team, him making me nervous was really weird because Conor Gallagher's kind of been pretty average playing for Chelsea until this season, or until the end of last season. I'll give him enough credit there as well. I did say when Pochettino signed him, I want to say I said this in my video. I'll maybe call back to that video in this one, but I'm pretty sure I said he would be the new like Harry Winks, if you will, if that makes sense, where he's like very good for Pochettino, but not a very good player, if that makes sense. Kind of like Gallagher was, again, at Crystal Palace, where he was the main man. He's kind of the main man in this midfield. I probably should have used Dele Alli as an example. I don't know why Harry Winks is an example. Ignore that completely. But anyways, let's move along to Crystal Palace before I take any more of your time talking, just rubbish. Joachim Andersen, is my Crystal Palace player of the year so far. Probably one of the better center backs outside of the top 6 when it comes to ball at his feet, and that's kind of why I put him there. I don't really have many other shouts. I guess you could say Mark Gahey as well. Crystal Palace's defense has been solid this season. Their goal scoring has been kind of average, but Joachim Andersen has been very good with the ball at his feet this season so far. Everton, it was an easy pick for me here. Doucouré, I mean, he's the top goal scorer. He's got 1.4 key passes per game, 0.9 successful dribbles per game. He's been very good for Everton. Dwight McNeil had a shout. He was my initial thought until I went and looked at the stats, pulled the stats, and I was like, yeah, Doucouré's probably been the better player this season for Everton, and so that's why he's my pick. Fulham, I've gone with another goalkeeper. I know this is my 3rd goalkeeper I've picked, and it feels like I'm kind of picking too many goalkeepers, but Bernd Leno, again, he's opened the season with a man-of-the-match performance against Everton where he made 9 saves. And against Arsenal, I think the very next week, he made 8 saves. I mean, he has been unbelievable at getting Fulham points this season. It has been crucial for them will be crucial for them, especially going into the back half of the season, having such a reliable shot stopper. Liverpool, there's nobody else I can pick but Mo Salah, of course. 11 goals, leads the team with assists as well with 7 assists, 11 goals, 7 assists, 18 goal contributions. I think that leads the league in goal contributions. Liverpool, I mean, Mo Salah has been their player of the year for the last however many years, it feels like. I don't feel like anybody else should be taking that spot. Next player is going to be Alfie Doughty from Luton Town. This was hard, but 3 assists for him. Could see his he got 2 assists against Arsenal. Could see his set piece delivery being crucial for them in the run-in, especially when they need a few points. Maybe they could jump a team and survive with some good set pieces from Alfie. Manchester City, I have to pick Haaland because he's just that good of a goal scorer. But second, and if he had played every game this season, I might have picked him first. Rodri. He's obviously missed a few games with suspension as well as injury, but Rodri's also a very good shout in my opinion as well. These two are clear of anyone else for Manchester City in my opinion this season, and that's why I've picked obviously Haaland, and Rodri has gotten a shout as well. Manchester United, I wish I was joking. I wish I could be telling you all this is a joke, this isn't a real video. Harry Maguire is my pick because absolutely nobody at Manchester United has been impressive this season. Not a soul has been impressive. Harry Maguire has come in, and he's been one of the best performers for Manchester United this season. And so Bruno is a shadow of himself. Onana's a bum. Rashford is finished as far as I'm concerned. He's just not a player. He's just very lackadaisical, kind of like a Messi, where Messi's kind of lackadaisical, but Messi's also one of the greatest players to ever is the greatest player to ever have a ball at his feet. And so he can get away with that. Rashford, I'm sorry, you can't get away with that. Up next, before I keep rambling about how bad Manchester United are, Newcastle United, I'm going with Anthony Gordon. 9 goal contributions, 7 big chances created this season. Very, very good season so far. And he's kind of played all over for them. He's played up front quite a bit. And I don't think he ever did that very much for Everton. He may have done it a little bit with the Dominic Calvert-Lewin injuries, but I don't remember him starting at striker very often. Up next is Nottingham Forest, and honestly, none. Nobody's been a standout player for Nottingham Forest this season, which is crazy because I'm going to have a player for Sheffield United who are bottom of the league. Nottingham Forest, though, everyone is underperforming. I guess I'll pick Awoniyi, I think the Nigerian striker, or Alenga, I guess would be my 2 picks there. Sheffield United, Wesley Fotheringham, solely for his performance against Brentford. I mean, he basically won them that game, kept the clean sheet, was massive for them. Tottenham Hotspur, I know he's injured. James Maddison. James Maddison has been player of the year for Tottenham. I mean, you can just tell in the way their attack dropped off. I mean, obviously they just put 4 past Newcastle as I'm recording this, but I think that James Maddison's such a big miss for them. I don't even know if I'd love to have James Maddison at Arsenal just because I like Kai Havertz and I like Odegaard, so I don't see him replacing either, but he would have to find a place, even if it's off the bench for Arsenal. I'd love to have him there. I think he's a very talented player, which that hurts me to say as an Arsenal fan, but besides the point. Moving along, West Ham, James Ward-Prowse. he would be in my underrated 11 if I were to do an underrated 11 right now. And he's my MVP for West Ham. He's that good. That's something that's crazy to say, is someone's in my underrated 11 and my MVP. Same thing for Pascal Gross. I feel like everybody says that Pascal Gross is underrated, so maybe he's rated at this point, made it rated properly. I think James Ward-Prowse is extremely underrated, though. I think he deserves his plaudits as well. Up next and finally is Wolverhampton and Pedro Neto. He's got 8 goal contributions, 5 big chances, 2.5 key passes created. Other option here was Hwang Hee-chan, but I went with Pedro Neto. I think Pedro Neto has been class this season. Obviously coming back from an injury, as well as just kind of an off season for him. I think Pedro Neto has been outstanding. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like down below. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video. Comment down below some ideas of things you would like to hear me talk about in the future. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.